There are two kinds of people in this world. The people who fail to do what they know they should, and those who keep doing things they know they shouldn't. Guess what? You're both. Hi, I'm your podcast host and life and business coach, Marcy Barker, aka your loving kick in the pants. In this podcast, I'll teach you the 6 steps of my accountability code framework that will enable you to wake up with clarity and show up with aligned action steps that make follow through easy and peaceful. When you're ready for more, head to marcybarker.com and we'll chat about your next goal. All right, let's dive in. Mic check. How is everybody? Okay, welcome to the podcast. Today, I wanted to make an episode on how to define your goals, specifically for the Accountability Accelerator, because guess what, people? It is starting. It started this week. If you're listening to this podcast and you're like, the Accelerator, I was thinking about that. Well, too late, guys. I only do this program twice a year and it starts. So if you want to be on the wait list, definitely reach out to me and I can make sure you get all the details when we start again in 6 whole months. But I have a few clients who are like, okay, I'm in. I know I need to level up. I'm excited to be more accountable, but I'm not exactly sure what my 8-week goal should be. And if that is you, first off, just take a deep breath because you're normal. You're normal. If you want to level up, if you want to kick in the pants, if you're trying to do big things and you're just like, I'm really not even sure which thing I want to focus on. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take you through the process of setting your big 8-week goal. And just keep in mind that in the Accountability Accelerator, things will change as you apply your accountability efforts. However, you're going to stay committed to getting your big goal done as much as possible, because in the Accountability Accelerator, you signed up because you have goals of stuff you want to do. Can you guys hear my blinker? Maybe you can. I'm in the car. All right. So in the Accountability Accelerator, one of the things we do at the beginning of the program is we do our commitment declaration. And this is where you kind of announce to the group and the important people in your life, like, this is what I'm focusing on for the next 8 weeks. So if you see me doing things outside of this, call me out. And if you can help me accomplish this thing, then please help me out. So what we do is we take it through the accountability code. So the reason why a lot of things can change throughout applying your accountability is because some people who join the accelerator have a lot of experience with the accountability code, whether it's they're in my Facebook group and they're learning, or they've done a personal call with me, or they've read my book, or they've listened to my book, or they've just been listening to this podcast. Some people get into the accelerator and they're like, I barely know this girl, Marcy. I'm not even sure what I'm doing, but it sounded good and it sounded like exactly what I needed. So the accountability code, as I take you through it, you might feel comfortable with it and you might be like struggling with some of the questions. Either way, it is totally fine. But you did sign up for this program because you knew there was a big goal you wanted to accomplish. So we're going to really lean into that. All right. So first step of the accountability code is reflection. Reflection is thinking on your goals and your values and your problems. And I like to ask in the accelerator, like, what is the thing that you're like, I'm ready to invest in myself to making this thing happen? What's the one thing that you're like, if I did this program and I accomplished this one thing, what is it? What is the thing that you wanted help for? What's the thing that you wanted to invest in yourself for? What is the thing that you have not yet accomplished that you're really trying to do? So remember, reflection is thinking on your goals, your values, and your problems. With the accelerator, it's more of a goal. Like, what is something that you want to accomplish? Now, the second step of the accountability code is humility. So humility is a modest view of who you are now related to who you can be. Now, since we're applying this to your business, the big question is, what are you doing that's holding you back? Okay. We have to get honest about the things that you've tried, about the things that you've been ignoring, the things that you've been putting off. What is it that is going to help you level up when you're just honest about your needs? Because humility is tapping into the resources you have available, but it's also getting to the most pure version of yourself in order to take action in the most aligned way. So this requires honesty. So I'm going to ask again, what is the thing that you feel like has been holding you back up until this point. Now, if you pair that with your big goal and what's been holding you back, then that takes us perfectly into the next step, which is the accountability code step 3, planning. Now, planning is a detailed proposal for achieving success. In the next 8 weeks, that might be enough time to accomplish your goal. Like one of my clients wants to sell out a retreat and have a successful retreat. So that can be done in 8 weeks. But maybe your goal is a lot bigger than that, like launch a program and sell it out. That might take a little bit longer. But a detailed proposal for achieving success is going to include some components of, I need to have a landing page up by this day, and I need to talk to this many people, and I need to have the checkout page set up, and I need to secure the spots. So when it comes to planning, I'll tell you guys, my goal of my 8-week program is to get my book out and published. Because my launch date, you guys, I'm having 2 launch parties. One is going to be in Aiken, South Carolina, June 9th. And then when I get to Utah a couple days later, we're going to do it in Utah on June 12th. So part of my plan to get my book out in the next 8 weeks is I have to finish 10 more stories, and then I have to send it off to a publisher. I have to get my wait list opt-in page done. I have to get some emails written. I have to decide finally on a cover, and then I have to put together the pre-sale bonuses. I have to plan the events. Like, there's a lot of stuff that's going into it. And in my opinion, I can pull all of this off in 8 weeks. How do I know that? Because I've done it before, and I'm not doing it alone this time. I've actually hired help to help me do that. So think about your plan, and in 8 weeks, what are the different components that have to happen in order for you to be successful with this thing? Now, planning, when I say a detailed proposal for achieving success, we don't have to go super detailed yet, because the accountability code is going to help us do that. Hey, my beautiful people. The message of waking up and showing up is yours for the taking. In fact, it's completely free. All you got to do is take this quick action. I've recorded my entire audiobook, and I'd love for you to consume it between episodes. Head to marcybarker.com to get instant access to the accountability code, Wake Up and Show Up. So, the next step of the accountability code is implementing. Implementing is putting into use your desired skills or values. So let's continue with the example of one of my clients who wants to sell out her retreat. Well, implementing is going to be making sure that she's posting on social media to attract people who want to come to her retreat. It's a mother-daughter retreat. She's also going to have to make sure that she is answering people's questions. And she's also going to have to check in with her daughters regularly to make sure that the plans are happening. So if we're going to apply implementing to my goal, implementing is your desired skills or values, I'm going to have to keep posting on social media and get the hype up about my book, because that worked for me big time last time that I published a book. And also part of implementing is going to be making sure that I write my book and I don't put that off, because if I don't finish my stories, I don't have a complete book. So implementing is I'm going to have to set aside time in my schedule to get writing done. So I want you to think about it, clients, friends, listeners. Implementing is putting into use your desired skills or values. What's something that you need to put into your schedule for the next 8 weeks in order for you to accomplish this goal? All right, the next step of the accountability code is commitment. Now, again, commitment is dedicating yourself to a person or a cause, or binding yourself to an outcome. And the cool thing about putting together your commitment declaration is that your commitment right now can be very big. It can be very broad, because we're not talking about commitments for the next week. We're talking about one commitment for the next 8 weeks. So I want you to just put out a draft of like, okay, in 8 weeks, I commit to doing XYZ. So my clients would be, she's committing to selling out her retreat. My commitment would be publish my book. So your commitment, starting the accelerator, it needs to be a very clear one-liner of like, this is what I'm trying to get done. Now, the last step of the accountability code is feedback. So feedback is information used as a basis for improvement. Now, in a goal that's 8 weeks long, we're not going to get feedback back until the 8 weeks is over, and it's either we completed it or we didn't. However, in the Accountability Accelerator, what's really awesome is that every single week when we do a group call, we get on a group call over Zoom and we pull up our big spreadsheet and everybody checks off their boxes of if they did something or if they did not do something. And every single week is an opportunity for feedback to say, this is working or this is not working, or I learned this in the process, or I had no idea that this was going to happen, or this person asked this question, or this hiccup came up, or okay, this thing is going to cost more money. All of those pieces are feedback. And at the end of 8 weeks, you'll realize that you didn't just hit your goal, but you learned so much in the process about how you take action and what your personal code for accountability is. So I hope that if you guys are listening to this podcast, that you are motivated to set a goal or go a little bit bigger. Like, stop worrying about the day-to-day stuff all the time, but like, where are you actually going? Do you have a big thing that you want to take action on? Do you want to write a book? Do you want to publish a book? Do you want to host an event? Do you want to get a course out there? Do you want to quit your job? Do you want to have a better relationship? Do you want to get closer with your family? Like, you have to decide what that is, but setting a big goal and declaring your commitment is such a great way to accelerate on your goals. So if you guys are in the Accountability Accelerator, I just want to congratulate you. I want to give you a pat on the back right now, because a pat on the back is going to feel much better than the loving kicks in the pants that you signed up for. But I promise you, it's going to be so worth it. And I'll be here to hold your hand every single step of the way. And the best part about this is that you're going to have your own personal code for accountability. And I will add, you're going to have business besties who understand what you're going through. And I am just so grateful that you guys took the leap on yourself, because there are people who were interested that just decided that this wasn't for them at this time. And I can tell you through years and years of experience that the people who take action, in fact, move the needle massively. And the people who don't take a jump, they stay stagnant. They lose hope, they lose motivation, and then they go back to their own habits and they continue to deal with the feelings of what if, or why not, or why me. And when you choose to be more accountable in your own life and you invest in yourself, in getting help and organization, the sky's the limit. It's going to be amazing. So listeners of this podcast, just expect the next 8 weeks to be full of me bragging about my clients because so much action is happening in the next 8 weeks. And I want to help you listeners know that you can take action too, because accountability is not just having somebody tell you what to do, but it is your ability to fulfill desired expectations. So I want you to have a fantastic week. Whether you are in the accelerator or not, set a declaration of commitment, your commitment declaration. Tell us what your goal is, and let's see how much progress you make in the next 8 weeks. I will be here for you. All right, have a fantastic day. Love you. Bye. Thank you for listening, friends. If you got value out of this episode, I would love for you to drop a review or share this with a friend. Let's be real. Let's spread the word, because we all know someone who could use your loving kick in the pants.